Hello. So yeah, I show you a lot of things to bake, nice tasty cakes and things. But a friend of mine is learning to cook new things, and what I do here at home is I cook vegan and vegetarian food for myself and my family because I'm a vegan, my wife's vegetarian. Um, Ethical reasons, health reasons. I don't need to justify that to anybody. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to do some oven-baked eggplant. And I use this, I'm going to use this anyway, in a very tasty lasagna. So, go look at this. I'm gonna bake something tasty. Gonna be crazy. So the measurements on this is kind of a little off because what you're really doing is you're gonna go based on how big your eggplant is. I have a rather medium-sized eggplant. Hi, what's going on? Up. I'm making food and I'm making a video. I'm making food. Do you want something? I love you. I'll see you later. Okay, so I got a medium-sized eggplant. I'd say maybe a cup of flour, 3 eggs, and then here's a cup, about a cup and a half of breadcrumbs. I go with the Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, and a cup or so of grated Parmesan cheese. Just mix that up really well. So what you're going to do is take a regular baking sheet, and I've already done this. You're going to put it in the oven for about 275. There you go. I know, I have a dirty oven. I know, it's just the bottom anyway. But you're going to put some olive oil on that baking sheet. Put it in there for 275. Give it about 5 or 10 minutes because it's going to heat that oil up. And then once you place this eggplant down on that oiled pan, it's going to fry the bottom. Let it bake for a little bit. Flip it over. It's going to fry the top. I'll come right back there and show you how to do that right this. This is going to be a little difficult to show you how to do necessarily, but it's honestly not that hard. It's good and hot. I mean, you'll smell it. Very fragrant olive oil. I just coated this pan pretty well. Like I said, heat it up for about 10 minutes. Okay. Just washed hands. Sometimes I do this with a fork. If I can, it gets a little messy, but at any rate, I cut my eggplant into little sheets here. About 7 or 8, give or take, planks. And what you do is you take your flour, just gives it a little base to stick to, and you just cover this thing with flour. It's gonna be perfect. Okay, and then dredge this into your egg. Just cover it, just enough to cover, and then right into your breadcrumbs here, right in there. Give it a good covering, okay? And then that is going to go right on your baking sheet, all right? And we'll do the rest. I'll come right back. Okay, so here we have our planks of eggplant. They're going to go into the oven at 275 for half an hour. You're going to shake them out at 15 minutes, flip them over, put them back in for another 15 minutes. Been sauteing these vegetables for a while. Onion, peppers. I put in some mushrooms, black olives, and artichokes. These are things that I had in the fridge. They're things that I had in jars in the fridge. Sometimes I'll get a plain pizza from Aldi's. Just a plain cheese pizza from the brand is sorry about that. Get a plain cheese pizza from Aldi's on the Cozy brand, and get some of their Ooh, it's hot. It's hot today. I'll get some of their artichoke salad. Comes in a jar. It's artichokes. It's uh, peppers and things. I'll put that on pizza with some mushrooms and some cheese. It's excellent. It's really excellent. But I have those things in the fridge. I have jars of peppers and artichokes and even mushrooms. Wednesday likes to have mushrooms in her egg, so in the morning I'll make her a scrambled egg with some cheese and mushrooms. But I've got a jar of peppers here, sweet peppers. I've only got one jar of sauce. Is my main reason for combining here. But usually I'll combine them. So I've got just a jar of ragu. So you want a good amount of sauce for a lasagna. Fair amount of sauce. So I combine these. Mix these peppers in. We like these for, especially for hoagies. We get meatballs, or I mean they're not, of course they're meatless. These peppers go really well with that. None of this stuff breaks the bank. I mean, we don't make a lot of money at all, honestly. All this stuff it's stuff that we have around. Jars of things. I make do with a lot. I mean, I don't make do with not a lot. We times are hard in general, but I'm a librarian. And my wife works at a bank, but we're not rolling in dough or anything. Get all that sauce out. Yeah, there we go. Got some time here still on our eggplant. I'm going to use some oven-ready lasagna noodles. These are possibly not going to be enough. But anyway, these are par-baked and or par-boiled, I should say. And so when you put down your sauce here, lots of sauce, these noodles, rather than you having to cook them on the stove and boil them and wait for them to be done and then put them into your lasagna, they just absorb moisture from your sauce. So typically a little bit more, perhaps a little more sauce than I would normally put in pasta. But it's going to work out really well for lasagna. Got a few more minutes in this eggplant, and then I'll take this out and flip it and just see what it looks like. There's our eggplant. Looks nice and crunchy on the bottom. There we go. Just gonna flip that over. Let it go for another. There we go. That's a nice golden. That's what you want. There you go. That's what you want right there. Flip these over, okay, and give them another 15 minutes. There you go. Another 15 minutes, and pull them out. See what we got. So I've got a large 32-ounce ricotta cheese here, 1 egg, and about a half a cup of Parmesan. They're going to mix all this up, and this is going to be another awesome layer for a lasagna. So what you got to do, really easy. I mean, a lasagna is just layers, You want to get a good base of the sauce though, because your noodles are going to go down on top of here, and they're going to help absorb some of this moisture. Okay. Like I said, it's going to help bake your noodles. Bake your noodles. There we go. Put down some of these. Usually lengthwise. I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I hope I will, but roughly about 3 of these noodles will go along the base. I have an actual lasagna pan. Look at this. My mother-in-law got me this. I had been using the my 9x13, that we used to make the cake with, the do nothing cake. If you followed along with that, I'm hoping for at least 2 layers here. I don't know. I know that the eggplant's only going to do 1 layer inside, but I just want to coat everything here really well, and then get a good cheese. I've got got a giant bag of mozzarella with it. Got what's left of this Swiss Gruyere. It'd be nice. Put some cheese down, and then a couple of minutes, that eggplant's gonna be done. Yeah. Whoa, yeah. Yeah. You're gonna get a really good layer of this eggplant, and then just put in some more cheese, more sauce, more noodles. Just give it a couple more layers. Okay, there we go. This is gonna go into the oven for 45 minutes at 375. Okay, so right about 40 minutes. I had covered this with foil, which you can do. And all it does is it prevents the top from really getting too overdone, too black. You shouldn't really do that. I mean, just your preference. These Parmesan noodles are good, are done, cooked through. Just take a fork, and when you can poke down all the way through, your noodles are done. If you feel, there's a little bit of resistance, so I'm just going to cover this back up with foil and put it back in the oven for 5 minutes. There we go. So 45 minutes. There we go. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's oven baked eggplant lasagna. Enjoy, folks. Yeah, enjoy. There you go. There you have it. Oh, that's a nice piece of lasagna. Hope you enjoyed it.
What's inside? What's in there?